Hello and welcome.
Good evening, good afternoon.
This is insane. We get a brand new chip and fantasy will never be the same because you will be able to score more points just due to the newly introduced chip called Assistant Manager. Similarly to Champions League, you get more games played in the group stage, more players scoring goals, records will be broken, and now the top scoring records in fantasy could be easily broken because these managers, you can introduce them for 3 game weeks in a row. You need to activate the chip, you cannot recommit, you only need to commit to that, and then it will be improving your score by giving you additional points for clean sheet, for goal scored, and for a win as well, or a draw, depending on the result. You're getting a different amount of points, so team win is 6 points if your team that the manager is bringing in. For instance, Arne Slot, he's managing Liverpool, Liverpool wins in a given game, you get additional 6 points to your team. Team is drawing, it's 3 points, you get a goal scored every 1 point per every goal, and then a clean sheet is 2 points. So you need to think about the strategies, how exactly you're going around that, because some people still have their triple captaincy not activated, so you will be probably aiming for double game weeks to see if triple captaincy is a good chip, maybe there could be played, or maybe you can actually even play this manager chip because he's playing more games. Like Liverpool will have double game week because their fixture with Everton was postponed. So having 4 fixtures for Arne Slot and 4 additional fixtures to improve, and give you additional points for goals scored, for wins, and so on and so forth. But if a manager, if a manager that you're bringing in is facing an opposition that is at least 5 ranks higher at the point of playing, this is actually a good idea to introduce a manager that is playing for relegation in the last 3 game weeks, and they are trying to fight the relegation, trying to win and go through, but not necessarily playing against teams that are in the same position, so mid-table teams. And that's where a Wolves manager, O'Neill for instance, or a manager from Ipswich, they will be fighting for relegation. They're showing that they are definitely capable of scoring goals maybe, but they're on a very bad run right now. You will be getting additional 10 points, extra 10 points for win, and additional 5 points if a team draws. So this is where you can go rogue differential and not go with Arteta or not go with Arne Slot, which is going to be a very popular pick. And also, interestingly, obviously, getting that manager, changing the manager. The chip is activated, you don't need to spend any points on that, but getting the manager, a new one, you can change him like a transfer move. It will cost you transfers, and you cannot have a manager that belongs to the team that you have already tripled up on. So, for instance, my team, I don't have any triple ups, and I'm fine with that, but at some point I would like to have Mo Salah, Trent, and maybe another defender, because they will have a double game week. Their fixture was postponed. So in the future, getting Arne Slot and 3 Liverpool attackers or midfielders or defenders is not an option, because you will be facing a decision. Either you're going with a manager and 2 Liverpool players, or using the chip maybe later. This just creates so much discrepancy and adds additional variants as well, and that is nice, just because you cannot go template anymore. You need to think for yourself a little bit, but still there will be people that are going to be copying others. But let's take a look at the fixture ticker, and I want to take a look at Game Week 24, because that is the game week from which this chip will be able, you will be able to activate that. And this is where I would say there is obviously an idea, for instance, go for Ipswich manager. That's going to be giving you, attention, 10 additional points for positive results, 5 additional points for a draw, which is also a positive result, but a win at 10 additional points on top of the 6 points that you're getting. So 16 points. That is crazy differential, mad differential. And then, for instance, you're getting him for Manchester United away, which probably is not really screaming a lot of points. Getting him for Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. At home, Nottingham Forest, they can produce a result. Look, Nottingham Forest played Ipswich, and they barely managed to score a goal at them at home. So that can be a nice idea, just because Nottingham Forest will be at least 5 spots above Ipswich by the time, I can assure you. Crystal Palace, they also will be maybe not 5 spots, but I think they're going to be picking up some pace. And I can see Ipswich getting a lot of Ws in the coming few game weeks. So that could be Manchester United, Palace, Nottingham Forest. Or you can make a transfer. That's why you can even change the manager, but it will cost you a transfer move. So either a -4 hit or you use your transfer. That's why right now I'm looking at my team. This is my points, 64 points. I don't really think that I need to make a transfer, even though getting Gabriel, getting Timber, whatever, who is either of them if they're fit, getting Trent, who I'm not sure is going to be even starting. We don't know that yet, but he could be. And then I don't think that it's priority. Why? Just because I feel like we are in a position where I'm in a position where every player that I'm playing is fit. They can get me points. Guardiola can easily even score a goal against Man United. Lewis Hall is facing Leicester. That's why I expect him to at least assist, maybe not keep a clean sheet. And Kirk is playing West Ham, who are struggling as well. So obviously it would be a luxury move to bench some of them in favor of starting Gabriel, for instance. I don't think that my team needs any transfers, and I'm already benching a penalty taker in Bumo. My bench is shambles though. But I think that's where I start saving my transfers. Speaking about the score that I got, 64 points. It's a green arrow. It's not necessarily extremely insane green arrow just because I didn't have a good defense. My defense just bottled everything, like, and my attack was like very sad. The only thing that I captained a good player now. It's good that I captained Palmer, and Salah had to be benched just because they didn't have a fixture. So this is not looking good. I made a transfer, and obviously the player that I get rid of is scoring more points than the player that I brought in. But this is more like I can see Wolves keeping a lot of clean sheets in the future and relying on his attacking returns. Bournemouth are a very solid team. They will be playing Crystal Palace, Everton at home. I would be probably maybe making a transfer move, somehow bringing in Isak into my team. Especially, I would probably want to get rid of Cunha somehow. I just don't know if that's easy. It probably will be -4, but then I'll be fixing my situation in defense. I probably will be getting rid of Guardiola because Man City are looking very sad, man. It's sad to see. There's a chance they even concede to Everton, you know. I just can't trust them. And getting an Arsenal or Liverpool defender somehow and improving my team this way so that I can then, starting from game week like 15, start hoarding on free transfers. So this is my plan, and probably for you as well. You can now take a look at this picture ticker and see what the future holds for your team. Are you good enough keeping the players that you have? Like selling Bumo, I don't think that's a good idea. So I need somehow to find a way how to keep him in my team. But at the same time, if you need to sell him to get a better attack or maybe improve your defense, that can be a good option. And then eventually, if you can save transfers, that would be my best tip for you in terms of like how to get the most out of that special assistant manager chip. You just want to be prepared, and you want to have as many transfers as possible by the time this chip will be available. Obviously, by that time you will be able to use a wild card, but I think there is a switch in pictures, right? It happens closer to like Gameweek 30. Still too early to judge and predict something, but it's just interesting that now the game will be never the same as before, and now you'll say, oh, I scored 2,000 points in fantasy, but that's like, oh, that was with the chip, right? So that's never be after like 20 years of fantasy. Oh, well, wait a minute, there was like a special chip, like all attack chip, I think, wasn't there? Yeah, but this is changing the game forever. But they can be experimenting. They can maybe even not giving us such a chip next season. They will see, I think, based on the reaction of people. Mo Salah dropping down the rank a little bit, but he's making transfers. He's very active, so he took a -4, brought in Dalot and brought in Martinez. Both of them blanked, and at least he played them. Now, wait a minute, Martinez didn't, of course, because they played Southampton. That was a good idea. And he still captained himself, even though like his team didn't play. Unbelievable. But the problem for Salah that he doesn't have Palmer, and Palmer going to be punishing non-owners very harshly. Salah had a better run than me and many even professional football fantasy creators. But that's where I think you probably are missing out if you don't have Palmer. And similarly to Trent, I think Trent is actually abandoning his team. He's not making transfers in like, what, 4, 5, 6 game weeks. Just taking a look at Trent's team and just making any conclusions is probably not a good idea. Although his rank is still probably better than most of you guys. So yeah, that's actually kind of hilarious. And his captaincy, yeah, they didn't fail. Like Haaland scored some goals, very nice. Andy Robertson, he is kind of active. Yeah, he's kind of active. He captains Haaland. Still kept Salah in his team. Just hilarious. But his bench is shambolic. So yeah, without Liverpool players, Robertson's team is not looking good. Diego Jota actually taken this game very seriously. His rank is 40,000, and he's definitely top in their mini league. 2 mini leagues, in fact. There's 2 Liverpool mini leagues, I assume, or maybe that's his friend's mini league. But nonetheless, his captaincy failed. Oh no, he didn't. He captained Salah, but vice captain Palmer. Yes, sir. That's actually a better score than mine. Saved a transfer. His defense is also like not returning, and Jackson and Joao Pedro. Look, me and Diogo Jota trust in Joao Pedro and Nicholas Jackson. Look, I only brought Nicholas Jackson, not because I'm a big appreciator of his attacking genius, just because Paul Palmer is gonna be just providing him assists like Eden Hazard in charity match to some bozos that don't know how to kick a ball. Put your hockey stick off a leg and just like score a goal, please, for the love of God. I've seen that footage that he was crying, he was very disappointed after the game against Tottenham. He had so many chances as well. And that's so, like that Tottenham defense, bro, like anyone can score, even Ansa is scoring, and people are bringing Ansa in their team just because they think that he's gonna be continuing with the same form. I actually consider getting him myself too. But yeah, there's James Justin's team, 66 points. Yeah, I just hope that Nicholas Jackson, bro. Brentford at home, Brentford conceded many goals. Away as well, they're very like underperforming. Everton, Fulham probably tricky fixture. Then Ipswich, Crystal Palace. And I know that transferring out Isak was a bad decision. It's just like, I thought he is actually injured. So early transfers punishing me again. So don't do this, kids. Don't do this at home. You got James Justin, who is one transfer made. His rank is actually improving, so he gets a green arrow. Captain Palmer, of course. Yeah, people who actually know ball, they probably Captain Palmer. I just don't think that this game... I just don't understand, bro. Is this really Reece James? Because according to the mini leagues, he is in a mini league with other players, other footballers. How come you don't have any Chelsea player and you have like Tottenham players? I may... Like, look, there is a mini league that is called FPL Bandits, and that's where you have players... like Andy King, for instance, right? So he's a Leicester player, former Leicester player. You have Wes Morgan. You have James Justin. Like some kind of like a footballers mini league, English footballers mini league. I just don't understand. Is this really a Reece James account? How come you don't trust Danny Simpson as well, former Leicester player? Stormzy as well. So this is not a random mini league, right? Paul Sehol. This is not a random mini league. And somehow Reece James is not... Are you, bro? Like, you need to trust Paul. Yeah, he has Sanchez, but he's... Bro, having Sanchez is hilarious. But yeah, maybe he's not following that closely, his team, but he's somehow making transfers. You get another... now it's Newcastle players. We get Anthony Gordon, 41 points for him. A lot of differentials. Captaincy failed, though, and he has no Cole Palmer, and he's gonna be punished for it. Oh, boy. Oh boy, until maybe Palmer just, his performances drop off, or maybe he just starts like getting benched for some reason or injured, he's gonna be punished and he's not owners, trust me. Look, I was kind of skeptical about Chelsea prospects this season, but they improved. Maresca definitely a manager that knows what he's doing. And it's just like, I don't trust their defensive assets, but when it comes down to attack, Palmer is there and he has Jackson, and I need them to click together, you know? I just not like, if I had a chance to get Isak back, I would do that, but I just don't want to waste transfers on that. We got Stormzy, who actually, his rank is falling off every game week. It's unbelievable how bad it is. And it feels like he still is active. Look, he brings in Trent. He finally commits. Now, this is hilarious, bro. You finally commit to bringing in Mo Salah, and you do that a little bit earlier than you should have because the game gets postponed. And you can't even field the proper 11. Gabriel is not playing, and you don't have anyone to get from the bench. And you do that without even taking a hit, and you still get 45 points. And you still, that's actually, it's just so disheartening. So disheartening. That's why you don't make early transfers, I guess. But there is KSI, who actually is improving his rank somehow, and he is about to get into the top 1 million. Only problem, he didn't captain Saka, yeah. Imagine like Captain Saka and then he scores 2 and assists, but in the Champions League like 3 days later. Very unfortunate. But Palmer, I think it was a no-brainer. I mean, obviously in hindsight you would say that, but I just didn't trust Saka. Away at Fulham. Fulham are a very solid side. Although Saka scored, it was like ruled for offside. Raptor, these people are beating me, and fair enough. That's why planning ahead and thinking thoroughly about your team is now actually starting to pay off. So these people, and you will see other creators, they're all ahead of me right now, and I need to fix it. My rank is 600, Raptors is 300,000 rank, and is doing very well. And we have Oscar, who also like halves his rank apparently, 150,000 his rank is right now. Everyone captains Palmer, so nobody makes a mistake here. Nobody slips up. Harry Daniels also halves his rank, 29,000. And yeah, even his defenders returning out of sudden. And then Andy from Look, he was like 3 million 2 games ago. I trust, bro. Like it was terrible. But now, all of a sudden, 92 points, and obviously Saliba goal definitely helped. He has Bruno return, has Raul Jimenez return, has Solanke return, everyone returning. This is actually quite a differential team for such a manager that is known to stick to template and captain Salah or Saka all the time. He has neither in his starting 11. Obviously, Salah cannot be playing because there is no feature, but he is tripling up on Arsenal defense, which is something that I did previously. It backfired terribly, so I'm not probably doing that anytime soon. We have Fabio Borsch with a fantastic score, 200,000 rank, and finally we have Ben Crellin with 26,000 as well. A very solid rank, and I think that's actually, it's a green arrow, but not like an extremely big green arrow for him, but he also has these differential players. Look, very similar team to Andy in a way, because he has Solanke and Raul Jimenez. It's just like Jimenez, look, Fulham score goals, but they come from different places, and actually Iwobi can be a very interesting shout for the future. Flecken assisted in that game, crazy. He conceded 2 but assisted, and gets 3 points. Maybe I got even a yellow card, I don't know why it's only 3. But yeah, this has been the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Assistant manager chip, very interesting. We are not thinking about that right now, but also at the same time, if you didn't use your triple captaincy, you're in a bit of trouble right now, because there is so many good fixtures where you can use bench boost, triple captaincy. You can use now this assistant manager chip as well in a very tasty fixture run, and that's where you would probably be missing out on points if you didn't use your triple captaincy already. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next.